Alright, aloha. So today I'm going to be recording about the third assignment about computers. And the three activities that Brother Griffiths used to do before everyone had computer were, of course, watching the television and then other interactive games such as soccer, to play outside, play Lego with his friends and all that. And then the transition that he saw from his times up to what we have now is first he talked about graphical transition, wherein they don't have all these kind of graphical attributes before, but now it's been improving. And then it became more complicated, he said, in a good way, wherein now we have spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets, interfaces, and all that, where we can do more complex things to simplify our own duties. And then we've got the animations, which is very important with video games, of course. And then also he talked about the activity to inactivity, because kids before times of video games used to always play outside with other kids, because they don't have like a video game where they will sit down and stay on the screen for a couple of hours. So we had this transition of being active in interacting with other people to being inactive. And there was this transition of addiction, of course. And he was talking about how they never saw this coming before, because when it first came in, they just thought it was just cool. And then he went on with saying the problem that is mostly experienced in MTC with the new missionaries are having lacking people skills, and this is because of computer games, because they don't get to know how to interact with people properly face to face, because they're always used to texting people, playing video games on the screen and all that. And not only that, but according to some church leaders in Provo that he knows, the two biggest problems in young marriages are first, of course, pornography, which is very serious, and second is computer games, because once a spouse tend to spend too much time in computer games, then everything else changes. It kind of turns into an addiction, which is not good, because it limits the time that's supposed to be spent with the spouse. And what is the position that Brother Griffiths takes about computer gaming system? He basically said that we gotta be watchful or beware of the computer games, because they are indeed addictive, not only for men, even for girls. I know a lot of friends who get addicted to computer games. And he also said computer gaming is not bad as long as you don't use it continuously, and as long as you don't spend too much time on it, and as long as you balance the things that you do in your life. And another position that he's taking is that it lessens your capacity to do face-to-face socialization. And then finally he said we are actually better off not playing video games at all, and we should teach our children how to interact to people in reality, not on screens, or be addicted to computer games, because this will definitely help them to preach the gospel once they start practicing their skills of talking to other people. And let's go to the article, which is a very interesting article. It's basically a study that was conducted about violence among children, among teenagers, and they were talking about how video game is a probable cause of this violence. And then some examples of this situation that was described is first, the game that was called Doom, which was authorized by U.S. Army Corps, and this is what they used to basically learn about how to, you know, how to go for, I don't know all the technical terms in the army, but something like, when you're in a battle, for example, how to go with your group, on how to fire as a group, things like that. And also they were talking about Malvo, which had a random shooting case before, and they found out that Malvo was trained to kill while playing video games, and because of that, it made him think that violence is something that is just acceptable because he sees it all the time on the video games. And then finally, the conclusion of the article is that, well, he suggested that future research is needed and it should be conducted, so we can see furthermore about this thesis that he gave us. But he kind of talked about there's still a significant relationship between video gaming and violence. But then he suggested that it's better to study how video games may contribute to some type of violence, and not to focus on whether or not video games is really um, resulting to violence, such as criminal assaults, theft, murder, and homicides, those things. So yeah, that's it for my video. I learned a lot from about video gaming today, and mahalo.